Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody is able to get in here and hear me okay. So if you have joined already and you are here as part of the live, go ahead and drop a hashtag live down below. And if you are catching the replay, go ahead and drop a hashtag replay down below, just so that I know that you've been here and taken a peek. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the comments just so I can see when people come in. And I know that there's a little bit of a delay, so don't get worried if you ask a question and it takes me a few minutes to get back to you. So while we wait for people to trickle in, I wanted to just mention a couple things. We're going to be talking about two tools today. And although it doesn't naturally seem like they're going to go head to head like some of the other things that we've done, like chat tools or design tools, today, we're going to be talking about Movable Type, which is a software, an AI software and tool that actually lets you write an entire book in about 15 minutes. And the second one that we're going to be talking about is Max AI. And Max AI is something that I continue to be impressed and surprised by. This is a tool that helps you fix the holes in your funnel. So, from a sales perspective, it helps make sure to capture and be able to sort of softly answer questions, be able to sort of follow your customers along. It also helps when you have current customers and they are maybe having some issues, etc., and you need a little bit more help from a customer service perspective. And I'm sorry that I look so bundled up. I am hailing from Michigan, and it has decided to get a tad bit cold these days. So I did not dress appropriately today. Again, if you are just joining, make sure you do a hashtag live down below or a hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. So without further ado, because we are a couple minutes in, I'm just going to get started. And as you join, if you have recommendations on things that you want me to test, certainly feel free to do that. I love for these sessions to be interactive. And if everybody's a little bit quiet today, that's okay too. I will take you through with the best of my abilities. And let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Elizabeth Godey. I am the founder and president of Ratliff Consulting. I also run several groups, including the AI Showdown group and the Spark Starter group. In addition to that, I also am the creator of the Spark AI Lab that does retreats, and we do have an upcoming retreat happening the end of September that we would love to have you attend. It's an idea to market retreat that takes you from idea to market in just 3 days. So if you want more information on that, go ahead and drop the word retreat down below, and I will be happy to get you information on that as well. So the first place that we are going to start today, and I'm going to share my screen, is with Movable Type. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to have a little bit of a delay as information gets generated for creating our book. So the first thing I'd like to know is, does anybody have something in particular that they would like to write a book about today that we can use as a topic? And I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, it just takes me 1 minute to be able to do that. Okay. And hi, Elise. It's good to see you. All right. So the first thing is this. This is the interface for Movable Type. And as you can see, it's although there's a decent amount of information here, it's really actually quite simple. The first thing that it asks for is your project name. And this has nothing to do with what the actual book is going to be written about. This is purely just so that you can keep track of your own projects. And a couple other things to note is that you can actually have team projects. So you can share these with additional people if you'd like them to be able to have input and participate in it. Or you can actually keep things just to yourself so that they're more private. And it really just depends on if you're maybe working on a collaborative book, you would want to be able to have more team input into it versus if you are just working on something on your own. Oh, Lisa, I love the idea of writing a children's book. Do you have an idea for the children's book? And we're going to just call this children's book. And the other thing is, so there's a category, and we're going to go through this and see. I'm not sure if there's one specifically for children. Accounting, biography, business and money, business culture, business ethics, business law. We're going to go through all those: business, calendars, careers, computers and technology, consulting, cookbooks, corporate finance, crafts and hobbies, educating. Let's see here. I'm not sure that I see one that's really overly fitting for a children's book. Let's try, I think I saw someone back, one back here. Well, I guess that's not really right. What topic should we use? I don't know. Would it be arts and photography? I'm not sure what to put children's book under, actually. I obviously have always been working in business books, so I haven't really thought about going down the children's book topic. Oh, I love creative and play. So let's just pick education and teaching. I think maybe that might get us close to it. That might take us down a little bit of a different path, but we can certainly look into that. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is write your big idea. So this is basically what the entire book is going to be about. And there are a couple examples that are given here. So they're referring to the big idea as being sort of your mantra, your thesis, your mission statement, and gives an example. This example is given for how to win friends and influence people, and the example given is success in personal and professional life can be largely influenced by one's ability to understand, communicate with, and relate to others. So that's in essence the big idea that would have been behind this book. So I love the idea of to be creative in play. Now, let's add, what I found with this tool is it's really great if we can give some type of emotional piece to this that will help us really sort of drive into some of the ideas that we'll have behind this. And I want to note that this software is going to be better in writing sort of like larger books. So maybe, at least if we think about this in terms of like maybe a teenager or somebody who would have a capacity for a little bit larger book that isn't so much picture driven, but is more sort of content driven. So we have to be creative and play, but what would be sort of like an emotional anchor for this or input in this that would help us with that topic? So we could look into, if I don't I know that there's a delay here, so I'm just going to keep leaning forward. Let's go ease the stress of being a teenager by using creativity and play. So I don't know if that gets into the same intent that you had, Elise, but feel free to drop it in the chat if it is not. Now, I will tell you, I've tried this both ways, and you do not have to fill in more context. The place that additional context helps is if there are specific things that you do or don't want to talk about. Perhaps there's certain nomenclature that you want to avoid, or Oh, I love this, Elise. I'm just seeing your comment. How to deal with feeling creatively blocked because of a fear of judgment. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm just going to actually take that right from here. I love that so much. All right, so we're going to change this. How to deal with feeling creatively. Is that how you spell creatively? Blocked. Because of fear of judgment. Okay. I don't know. Is that how you spell creatively? Something looks weird there. Let's choose this one. Okay. So as I was saying before, adding additional context is not necessarily required. And instead, I would recommend just skipping it. Now, the additional thing that you have, because of the fact that this is a business book, or sorry, not a business book. This is writing sort of more of a book that you're going to be publishing. There are additional options that you can do, which is you can create marketing materials that will automatically be created upon running this cycle. You can decide to include frameworks, and you can decide to include processes. Now, I'm just going to leave, I'm going to leave actually the marketing materials off, only because sometimes it adds to the amount of time that it takes to do these outputs. So I'm actually going to leave that off right now. And we're just going to start the generation on this. Now, what will happen when we start the generation on this is it's going to be working in the background, and it's going to be starting to create our outline, starting to create sort of like the high level ideas. It's going to fill in who it thinks our audience is, etc. That's basically what's happening in this section. And once it actually finishes rendering out, we'll be able to go in and edit it before we actually run the full book. So in the meantime, while we are running this, and as you'll see, it continues to give sort of updates as we go through here, but it can take 5 to 10 minutes to run this. So in the meantime, so that we don't sort of stare at a blank screen, we're going to turn our attention and talk about Max for a second. All right, so Max is, let me actually bring myself back up. So Max is a software that has been created by a company that actually saw a need. So they were a tech company to begin with. They had several different entities that they spent a lot of time advertising for. And while they were doing all of this, spending all this money to advertise, and they had huge sales teams, they started thinking, when generative AI came out, what could we do to actually improve this process and be able to make ourselves more efficient? And so they actually created Max. And what Max does is that Max looks at all of your company information. So they basically pull in and create almost like your own company Wikipedia, where they pull from everything from your website to PDFs to internal documents, because it's a closed system. So sometimes with AI, we worry about our proprietary information getting out into the marketplace, but this is a closed system. And what happens is it actually pulls from that information to be able to respond to customers or prospective customers. And I can show you a couple things. One is I can show you how the customer service end works based off of one of their programs that they have. So we can go into sort of the sandbox environment so we don't mess up anyone's data or actual workflows. And then I'm also going to be able to show you actual screenshots of conversations that Max, the AI tool, has had with customers to be able to convert these sales. And we're talking pretty significant increases in sales, because imagine that someone leaves the funnel, they drop out, out. They attend one of your masterminds or your workshops, and you make an offer at the end, and perhaps maybe they even clicked on the button to be able to buy, but they don't actually make it all the way uh, through buying. They exit the flow before they complete it. And imagine that you have the opportunity for this tool to be able to go in as an extension of your team and be able to continue to have a conversation about why they perhaps did not do this, or why they didn't actually proceed forward in order to complete the sale. What they found was that they had the opportunity to be able to offer different types of payment plans based on objections, different types of perhaps discounts in order to convert the sale. And also, if there was something that wasn't clear or a misunderstanding to the offer, they could actually clarify that. And the amazing thing is this can run simultaneously through as many customers as you have that, or prospective customers that you have that are there. Then conversely, from a customer service perspective, this tool can actually go through and answer and respond to any real-time customer service issues. And then when you think about how this tool works from sort of those two use cases, and you think about, okay, well, this tool could actually respond while you're doing a live stream and be able to respond to questions that people have about your sales offer. And then also think about the ability, the responses to be able to hone and improve your product, your service, or your offering. It is mind blowing how cool this software really truly is. And the most amazing part is it does all languages. So I've got an example for you that shows Farsi and a few other things. So that is very cool. Now, before I actually get into sort of showing you that piece, I want to get back in because we know that we're going to have a little bit of a delay in creating the book. So what I'm going to do is quickly share my screen again, because I believe that we have our brief ready to look at. So let me. Okay. This one. Okay. All right. So what we see on our screen here is the brief that actually comes back. So this was based off of just our how to deal with so they've come back and honed our big idea into how to deal with feeling creatively blocked because of a fear of judgment. So our action required is to actually refine. They call it your book proposal. Some of us might call it a creative brief, if we come from different industries. But this is basically our outline of the book. So we're going to review and edit it, and then we're going to approve it. And that's what's actually going to trigger the book writing process. So this is, so they've come back with a title that's Unblocking the Artistic Fear, Embrace Your Uninhibited Creativity. Now, because we didn't actually refine we didn't add teenager in there, and we didn't add any particular type of audience, this is actually going to come back and tell us who it is assuming our audience is, and then we can define that from here. Okay, so the subtitle is Liberating Your Creative Potential, How to Triumph Over Judgmental Fears and Harness the Power of Reinstated Expression. I mean, come on, guys, like this is amazing, right? So the promise of the book is how to overcome the fear of judgment causing creative blocks and liberate your artistic expression, noticing significant improvements in just a few weeks without letting societal pressure and fear of rejection inhibit your originality. So far you get the idea of like where this book is going. So the question that you start asking yourself is, okay, is this really the intent of the book that I was trying to write? And if it is, great, you don't have to do anything. If it's not, that's the time to edit. So the reader's situation is our target reader finds themselves at a crossroad in their life, feeling stifled and frustrated due to their inability to fully express their creativity due to fear. They may live in a conventional, live a conventional life yet long to break free and yearn to inject more creativity into their work, or simply feel the urge to share their unique creative projects with the world. The constant pressure to conform and fear of judgment leaves them creatively blocked, fumbling for inspiration. However, upon reading this book and putting its advice into practice, their fear of judgment starts to dissipate. They start to see significant improvements in their creative output and begin to embrace their own unique artistic style without fear. I mean, just looking at this, I get excited about the prospect of reading this book. I will be honest with that. So I really appreciate Elisa's guidance here. This is a very, very interesting concept. So the reader profile is the ideal reader for this book is an individual who is a creative at heart and has been suppressed by a fear of judgment or criticism. They are artists, writers, musicians, inventors, entrepreneurs, and innovators who need to bring their creative expression to the forefront of their lives. They are individuals who feel they have much more to give, but are not held back by the fear of failure, rejection, or ridicule. Their need is to overcome these barriers and enjoy the freedom of creative flow. Once again, their common fear is negative judgment from their peers or society at large, overshadowing their unique talents and ideas. So, I mean, certainly put some nuggets in here, because I feel like just even the way that this has captured this book could be elite. I actually feel like this could be really useful for you and your business. I feel like we should just send this to you. Anyway, the time frame. So the timeline for overcoming their fear of judgment and unlocking creative potential is subjective and varies from person to person. However, with consistent application of these strategies outlined in the book, the reader should be able to notice significant improvements in their creative work and confidence levels within a few weeks to a few months. So the core problem the book solves is for a reader fear of judgment. A reader is the fear of judgment, and that often hinders their creative expression, leading to a feeling of being blocked or unable to fully utilize their creative potential. And the results, by the end of the book, the reader will have learned effective strategies to overcome their fears, feeling their creative flow, and allowing them time to create without inhibitions. So the pain point is a common complaint from readers is the prevailing societal pressure to conform and the fear of rejection and humiliation that comes with putting out work that is considered different or unconventional. This book addresses such issues and provides methods for readers to embrace their unique creativity without fear of judgment. So the question that I have is there anything here that feels like it's a little bit off? Because keep in mind that this is all the input that will be used when we actually run for the book or do the actual output of the book. So if there's anything in here that feels, well, I mean, that's close, but that's not completely right, we should actually edit it now. So my question is, do we have anything that we want to edit? I was wondering if, do we want to change anything with the unconventional, or are we good with that? And while we think about that, the other thing that I'll just show is this. So obviously there's a way to edit the proposal. So if you go in here and edit it, it will actually give you all the fields that you can edit from. It's taking a second to render. I'm not going to worry about that. And then the option is also to be able to add custom instructions. There are all kinds of different things that we can do, like avoiding terms, writing in a particular style, etc. I'm actually pretty pleased with how this has come out so far. So I think we're okay to actually approve and run this. So the big button at the top is approve content and generate the book. So we're actually going to click that. And now it's actually going to start generating everything. So it's basically telling us what it's going to go through as far as generating chapters and complete outline of the progress, etc. Yes, I love the confetti too. It's so fun. And so while this is happening, I am going to switch back. I'm going to, I'm not sure if I can just drag this over. Let's see if I can. Okay, my question is, can you see? Okay, good. You can see Max now. Great. Okay, so while we're waiting for the book to continue to run, which is the very exciting part, we're going to talk about Max. So this is Max on the back end. This is just a sandbox environment. This isn't the actual environment, but what it will give us a chance to do is actually test some things. Now, as I had mentioned before, this is actually set up to run based off of the program from one of Max's programs, or I shouldn't say Max's programs, one of the programs from the company that owns Max, called the Modern Millionaires Program. And the Modern Millionaires Program is designed to guide you through the process of setting up and running a successful digital agency. So I would love to take some feedback and questions that we can actually ask the tool as if we were getting into that program, so that I make sure to ask actual questions that you would want to know about this program. So this is gone, because this is on the sort of customer service side versus the sales side. This is going to be questions about if you were in that program. So you're in a program for the Modern Millionaires. It includes, the program basically covers a wide range of topics, from setting up your prospecting channels to managing your agency and achieving financial freedom. It provides practical aspects of like how to set up your calendar booking page, how to create your demo deck, your presentation slides, what to say on the phone, like scripts, that type of thing. So can you think of anything that we would want to ask this tool that would be something real that would be based on that program? So just drop it in the chat with whatever you think that we can ask Max. So one of the things I was thinking about is there an ideal customer size for this program? Okay, so question mark. Thank you, Grammarly. Okay, so we're going to submit this question. So what's going to happen, because we're on the back end of this, again, this is not what the actual end user is seeing. This is what you would see if you had this program. What it's going to do is it's actually going to generate this, the answer to this question, and it's going to tell us actually where it's sourcing its response from. So based on all the information that we do to load up this program and get it in place, it's actually going out and it's searching through all of that. And again, because this is in a sandbox environment, this runs a little bit slower than I've seen it run, sort of real time. So forgive me for that. And again, because this is customer service, it's referring to me as a student. The reason why it's not referring to me by name is because I'm in a sandbox environment, so it doesn't have anything to reference who I am as a person. So it's going back to me as a student. So it's now referencing, and it's saying this program's designed to be flexible and can accommodate a wide range of customer sizes. However, it's important to note that the effectiveness of these strategies discussed in this program can vary depending on the size of your customer base. So for instance, when creating a customer custom audience for your ad set, you ideally want to have at least 1,000 emails and phone numbers, and this allows for a more effective targeting and retargeting strategy. On the other hand, when it comes to scaling your business, the program suggests starting to hire help once you have a good number of clients, say around 325, and a steady income stream. So this helps make sure blah, blah, blah. As you can see that it's answered my question, right? And it's actually given me more information than maybe I originally even thought I needed. And then it's giving me the reference. It's telling me, because this is in essence testing how the tool's been set up. It's referencing it based off of this 3-minute lesson of your ad leads form that was submitted. So is there anything else that we are that we want to ask Max from a customer service perspective? Any other questions that we have? Maybe what is the ideal ad spend for let's just start with let's just see what we get back if we just leave it here. We're not going to give any more information than that. So we're going to go into submitting the question. And again, a couple other things too is these Max has actual, you sort of see this emergency notification setting over here to the right. Max actually has the ability to also set up very specific times when it should exit and go to a human. So there you can set up, oh, sorry, Elise, I see your question. So where you would use Max is, let's say you have your program that you're running and you don't have a staff or a team, you can use Max to actually respond as if it was you or another team member, where it's responding to any questions that people might have. So you think about like an influx of questions that come in, you would use Max to actually address that. And then I'm going to show you also, so you see that this, they're coming back and basically giving recommendations on what size the ad spend will be. I'm just going to wrap this up, Elise, and then I'm going to show you a couple other things that I think might make this a little bit more clear. So this is coming back and also feeding off of, and now you see that this reference has been made off of, I think there's 6 or 7 documents here. So it's basically going through, it's referencing all of these documents, and then it's formulating a response to your customer, which in this case is me, the student, and giving me information back. So when you think about having a very small team, or you think about your growth rate potential, and also the ability to respond in a authentic, clear way using information that your company already has, that is really where the use case would be for Max. Now, let me see if I can pull up the screenshots of the sales piece, because that is actually pretty cool. All right, let me. All right. And what they've actually found, sorry, I'm just going to have to bring this Google Doc piece over. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different samples of this, and what these screenshots are going to show you is the actual communication back and forth between somebody who started within the pipeline. So this is basically a customer that came from got into the pipeline. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it took me a minute to get myself to say the right things there. So what you'll see here is that the communication going back and forth is the fact that we're going. Sorry, hold on. Let me get myself. So basically, what's happened here is that the opportunity changed from a lead from a webinar registrant. Sorry, let me get myself organized because I opened a different one that I had before. So this is, they have the opportunity is for $2,000, and they're in the pipeline, and they were a webinar registrant, and they are a lead. Okay, so now it's saying, hi, I'm from this academy. So this is the program that this is from. I noticed you got started with our program, but something held you back. So this is like somebody who maybe is interested. They take the first step, but they exit. They don't actually complete buying something. Okay, so Max is basically reaching out and saying, listen, is there something that we can, is there something that was concerning that we can help you clarify? So don't hesitate to ask. We're happy, to basically help you with this. And right away, Deanna comes back and says, it's a lot of money. And so basically then says, maybe not for some people, but I'm on disability, and this is more that I get to live on for 2 months. So then Max comes back and basically says, I understand it's an investment. Is this something you plan on saving for? So this is like, is the potential still there, or has the door completely been closed? Then I understand your situation, and then offers. So Max offers right here a $500 discount, because they've said that basically they have a limit of funding, and Max is still trying to close the deal, is basically what's happening here, because Max is using the guardrails that have been put in that allow the AI to actually come back and give these types of options. So then Deanna says, yes, that would help greatly. And then basically Max comes back and says, great, you can use this coupon code. This will apply the $500 scholarship to your, account, and happy learning. And then Deanna continues to have this conversation and says, I had no idea you had something like this for low income people like me. Thank you. And then, the conversation continues on. And as you can see that we actually get a complete checkout from somebody who would have actually left. So even with the $500 discount, the company is still getting $1,500 that they wouldn't have had without Max, because this person would have just fallen out, or would not have had the opportunity probably to be followed up with, because it's possible that, when you're just a salesperson and you're going with like, who is the, or maybe you're not even a salesperson, and what is the closest way that I can get to close this deal? You're going to look at this and say, okay, well, they don't have enough money. They're on disability. They're not going to be able to do this program. And you might move on to your next person. And then you're losing $1,500. So that's one example. Another example in here would be, oh, this one's very small. Let's see if I can blow it up. Okay, so the next one here is, this is a Facebook, it looks like it was a video sales letter. Facebook, are you willing to commit 5 to 10 hours per week to create your first Airbnb income stream? So this is another internal, I shouldn't say internal. This is a real program that Max's company has, which is regarding Airbnb income streams. So first, hi Habib, this is Julian, your student development representative from 10X B&B. Noticed you're interested in our course. I'm curious what got you interested. Feel free to ask me anything about the course or how I can help you reach your goals. So Elise, we know somebody else who uses these types of, would find these types of questions very helpful. So yes, I'm interested in the ability to make money for my family. And so basically Max comes back and says, that's wonderful. Our course is designed to help you build a profitable business. And then, how do you envision this business helping your family's future? So the great thing is that Max is actually diving deeper into the beliefs and the buying beliefs that this person is going to have, so that Max can continue to drive towards a sale. So, by securing my child and my family's good health and future with some money that could help. And then Max comes back and says, absolutely. And by the way, this is all being done via chat, because you can see that this is SMS versus there are other things that are done, via email as well. So I should have noted that in the last one. Our course can help you achieve that, and it's designed to maximize, how soon are you planning to start? So now we're diving into timeline. So we get a message back that says, by today, and Max comes back, fantastic. Starting today is a great decision. So positive, right? Would you like to book a call with one of our student development representatives to discuss how we can help you achieve your goals? Then the person says, yes, great. Here's the link to actually schedule the call. So as you can see, this is basically taking you down a path also of even just getting someone from the standpoint of like maybe they have very limited interest and they haven't even gone through anything specific. This is directly from an ad, and basically clicking an ad. And this is softening the beach to, number one, make sure they're a qualified lead and answering any basic questions that can be taken care of so that by the time they get to a salesperson, that you can be at a higher level. Maybe you're not even a salesperson. Maybe this is your company. And what you're doing is making sure that you're not wasting time with people who aren't qualified to be able to take your time. Let's see here. I zoomed in so much I can't close it. Okay. Let's see here. I feel like, oh, here, this one. Okay, so as I had mentioned before, that Max can communicate in other languages. I'm not going to read this one to you because I do not actually speak this language, speak Arabic. But what you can see is that this user actually goes back and forth between English and Arabic, and Max is actually mimicking that. So when the person sort of speaks in English, the Max is responding in English. When the person is speaking in Arabic, he's responding in Arabic. And what's really interesting about this is the fact that that really shows the fact that there's it's on each individual message. This is really being considered, how they need to respond and relate to the customer. I don't know if you want to see any more examples, but I will tell you that this tool is incredibly powerful. And I will also say that, because of the fact that I've had the opportunity to get to know the founder and many people on the team, I actually have the ability through an affiliate link to give some special offers, as far as setup goes, etc. So if you're interested in learning more about Max, just do a hashtag Max below, and we can set up a specific call, and actually we can do a specific demo with the company if we'd like, so that you can actually see exactly how it works. But I'm a super fan and really excited about the opportunity that has to really net so many sales for people. Okay, so here we are with our book. Now, the way that the book gets generated is it actually is a Google Doc. And this is something that gets auto synced into a folder that is within my Google Doc, or my Google account, excuse me, that I actually sunk with Movable Type when I set up my account. And as you can see here, we actually have a full book that's come back. So you can see we go everywhere from the preface into chapters. We are at 10 chapters, it looks like, in this book. And if we start at the beginning, sorry, let me go back. You can see that we kept the title because we didn't change the title. We didn't change the subhead. So these are the same. And then we get into the preface. So this, it starts with a quote, which is "Creativity takes courage," and then goes into embracing creativity amidst, excuse me, a fearful world. This book is for those who have experienced the crippling hold of creative fear, the kind that consistently steals away your unique voice, forcing it into the confines of mainstream acceptance. This narrative is a remedy, a powerful antidote to unleash your suppressed creativity and break free from the judgment fears that have long held you captive. So, I mean, already I'm captivated by this book and I want to read more. I actually can't wait to go in to read this later. But let's sort of, pick out some other things throughout here. We've got turning fear into fuel. So you can see the idea of like giving actual motivational recommendations on how to approach this topic. Chapter 2 is embracing failure as an essential part of creativity. We've got chapter 3, which is counteracting the fear of rejection with self-acceptance. We've got chapter 4, which is using mindfulness to tap into uninhibited creativity. We're demystifying the fear of judgment through psychology. We're thriving in a supportive creative community. We're empowering creativity through realistic expectations, cultivating self-compassion to counteract fear, resilience through the embrace of failure, and triumph over societal pressure to unfold authentic creativity. And as you see, let's just go to the sort of conclusion. So we're at 149 pages that have been created. So this is a complete first draft. And if you think about it, this is in essence like having a ghostwriter sort of give you your first draft. And that's really where this comes into play, so that you can add your own sort of special awesome into this later. So it looks like there's a little letter in here, sincerely, the author name. And we could have actually in the special instructions put our author information in there so that it could have referenced it throughout here. If we have certain unique abilities that we would have wanted to play into this, we could have done that in the special instructions, so it peppered it in throughout. And we have, a unique, unveiling the free-spirited artisan within you, the journey's end, as we traverse the final steps of this winding and exhilarating pathway to uninhibited creativity. It becomes essential to remember that the journey doesn't end here. Indeed, it merely signals the beginning of a refreshed, unabridged chapter of artistic discovery for each of us. The principles and strategies absorbed from this voyage have established the groundwork from a creative life lived beyond the constraints of judgmental fears and societal norms. I mean, this book is, I think, great. And then as you see, the very end here is to perfectly encapsulate this conclusion. A beautiful quote by Brene Brown comes to mind. You either walk inside your story and own it, or you stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. So don't hustle, dear artist. Embrace who you are. Your individuality is your strength, your creativity, a beacon of light in a world that thirsts for originality and authenticity. Unlock your creativity and set your soul free. I get so excited every single time I generate a new book from here. It just how good it is. It is unreal how much this tool is helping unlock people's ability to get their words and their ideas down on paper. So I don't have anything else other than answering questions that you might have in regards to Max or in regards to movable type. And as far as movable type goes, I am also happy if somebody is interested in generating their own sort of first draft of a book. I am happy to give some more information on how you might be able to do that as well. So #Max if you're interested in getting your own personal demo of Max with one of the founders, or #book if you are interested in learning more about getting your first draft of a book created. And I thank you all for joining me today, either live or in the replay. It has been my pleasure to bring both of these tools. And my last question, because this is the AI Showdown group, is what was your favorite of the two tools? Was it movable type, which you can do a #MT, or was it Max? And you can do a #Max, and that's with a double A, MAAX. Who's our winner today? And I'll be continuing to check back with the chat with the replays that happen over the next 24 hours. So don't forget to put your vote in there, and I will report back with who won. But both of these tools are very different from each other. They both serve very, very different purposes. But to be honest, I see a good way that they can work together, which is you can use your book to actually be a form of a lead magnet that then could actually feed into Max that can help you close sales into your programs or services or any other offers that you have out there. And I'm really excited to be able to bring both of them to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I've enjoyed playing with you this afternoon, and I look forward to the next time when we compare some more tools. And if you have any AI tools that you want me to do a head-to-head on, just let me know, and I'll be happy to cover those later. Thanks so much. And don't forget, if you're interested in joining the Dream It, Build It retreat, where you're going to take an idea to market in just 3 days, make sure to include the hashtag retreat, and I will get you information on that as well. I would love to see you at that and help bring your ideas to life so that they come from paper to making revenue. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.